Okay, I want to talk about a tweet I saw recently. This is from a reporter, Dalton Ross, who's been reporting on Survivor all along, right from the outset. I have not talked at length about reporting on the show and the way in which viewers are influenced by information or the lack thereof that's in the public venue. Dalton is, I think, a Survivor lover. I think he really enjoys the game, and I think he enjoys reporting on it. However, I think Dalton and others are so restricted by CBS's control that it saddens me. And I would suggest that you read everything he writes with a grain of salt, because he can't say anything true. He can't talk about the show and the behind the scenes in any real in-depth way without losing access to where Survivor's being filmed, without getting on the wrong side of the power players behind Survivor, the media manipulators who control him and many other Survivor reporters. It's sad. But that's a whole other issue. You can just see that's me thinking through how I'm impacted when I read reporting on the show that I love too. This is a great game. I love it. And I wish reporters were more journalistic. They had the integrity to really expose what's going on, rather than what I think CBS and these reporters think, that they're doing the show a service and that that's why it's been on so long. I think it would be even more beloved, perhaps have even more viewership, if it were exposed for what's real. And what I do know is that the power players behind it, with all of their billions, would be better off when they shared some of that to prevent some of the damage that's done by withholding the information about what's real related to the show and the consequences of having been on it and thereafter, and the consequences of being abused by some of those people in control. Far more of your favorite Survivor players have suffered unnecessarily and greatly because of that. Get back on topic, Rich. Okay, here we go. Here's the tweet that I wanted to mention, which has nothing to do with all of what I just said. Here's Dalton Ross. He says, I have said it a million times before and will say it again. I hate advantages and disadvantages in Survivor challenges. He hates them in the Survivor challenges. He hates the advantages and disadvantages. I want to see these players competing on an even playing field. He says that makes for more dramatic television. What do you think? He hates the advantages and disadvantages in challenges. Well, does that mean he's talking about like idols? They're not specifically in challenges. So you can find an immunity idol and that helps you toward the end. But there are advantages that come up and that people are awarded when they find them or earn them, that make the playing field somewhat uneven, somewhat unlevel when it comes to a challenge. I get his point. I accept it. I actually even think there's quite a bit of merit to the idea that watching everyone play on a level playing field is more interesting. It's more compelling. There's this thing that happens when someone has a disadvantage or an advantage in an actual challenge that makes either that person's loss or that person's win less appreciated, less fulfilling. So I agree with him there. However, this is the Survivor thing, kind of. This kind of a twist that is as equitable as can be in the circumstances, I guess. So it isn't that players are restricted from access to these advantages. There seems to be a relatively equitable availability. So it could be that anyone could encounter or earn these advantages and make choices and decisions that put them in that position to earn them. So that's the balance for me. I'm not as off-put by the fact that they're out there and part of the game occasionally. But I agree with Dalton in that they do impact the actual challenge when used, when the advantages are played or the disadvantages are played on a particular player. They impact that particular challenge in a way that is notable and not necessarily positive. You know, when you don't have an advantage and you win the challenge against everybody, I see what Dalton's talking about. That's just something to enjoy and be proud of. And when you didn't have an advantage and you actually got a disadvantage, well, could you have won? You never know. And putting somebody out of the opportunity to compete, particularly when they are, in jeopardy, in real jeopardy, it's not real satisfying to me. So I get it. What do you think? 80% of you who are listening to these videos have not subscribed to my channel. Please subscribe. Just hit the subscription button and hit the notification button, and you'll be informed when I have another video up for you to listen to. After you've subscribed, comment. Comment positively, comment negatively. No holds barred. Just say what you're thinking. That's what will make our exchange even more valuable. As I'm able, I'll create new videos responsive to that commentary. So like away, or dislike on that rare occasion you may feel the need to do so. But either way, thank you.